Purpose and Passion. Living a Purpose-Driven Life Today by Sarah Mitchell. Introduction. I want to thank you and congratulate you for downloading the book, Purpose and Passion, Living a Purpose-Driven Life Today. Leaving a life of mundane and drudgery behind might seem outwardly appealing, but how hard is it to improve your station in life? This book digs down and explores all of the steps and strategies you need to use to find what your true purpose is in life. It will stoke the fires of passion and have you yearning to make those changes today. Is life supposed to consist of one work shift to another with little to no enjoyment between? Were you born to make others wealthy and struggle day to day? There is only one way to change things. You have to grab onto your purpose and infuse it with passion and desire. Learn how to find out what your life was always meant to be, but you may have missed the cues and opportunities that presented themselves. Get back on track to giving your life real meaning, fulfillment and satisfaction. You can do this. Thanks again for downloading this book. I hope you enjoy it. Chapter 1. What does purpose and passion matter? You need to have more reasons to get up in the morning than to simply shut off an annoying alarm clock. Getting up exhausted and heading off to a dead-end job day after day is like eating green beans for every meal. Sure, they have color and texture, but eventually they are just your 800th plate of green beans. You might even give up on eating altogether. Many people that have never found a purpose and passion in life give up. What does giving up look like? It means settling. It means not even trying for that promotion, or sending out that resume or carrot per vote for a better and more challenging job. It means that barely getting by has somehow become okay for you. Youth and passion, love and many other terms of endearment are given in reference to young lovers. They seek the pleasure and company of the one they hold passion for. They don't allow anyone or anything stand in the way of enjoying each other company. It is much the same when it comes to finding a career. You find more burning passion in the youthful job seekers than the ones that have been out in the workforce for a few years. What makes the difference? It could be that setbacks and disappointments were internalized. It could also be that they never made the right opportunities happen. Let me say that again. It may be that they never made the right opportunities happen. If opportunity never knocks, create it. It is said that humans rarely use more than roughly 10 to 15% of their brain's capacity. That is a whole lot of wasted brain power. Think of the ideas you can tap into by simply forcing yourself to sit and think about what you want out of life, what you want to do in life, and what is important to you in life. The great thing is it is all age-appropriate activity. You are never too old to try and reconnect with youthful passion. You are never stuck so deeply in a rut in life that you can find a way out. Waiting for opportunity to come to you might be how you ended up stuck where you are. Be bold and chase after your dreams. No matter what. There has never been a successful person that was and a dreamer. There has never been success without passion. The purpose of passion. Passion is something that takes purpose and adds dimension, or depth. You may determine that designing computer programs is your purpose in life, but adding passion means that you will make yourself the best program designer that there has ever been. You pour everything you are worth into the pursuit of quality and originality. Everything you do carries your signature touch. It has touched your soul and it shows. The difference can be seen right away. It is like the difference between a picture of a lion and the living creature. Adding passion to your purpose breathes life into dreams. The passionate purpose here is something that really need to understand. It does and really matter what your purpose is. You could decide it is to build model cars, or maybe learn to fly a plane and get your pilot license. What is important is that you put every bit of passion for what you want to have, do and be around into both obtaining the goal and living it. Passion is the necessary fuel to rocket your purpose into action. This should help you narrow down your search for purpose. There are, no doubt, many things you can do and do well. What are the things that you want to do? What are the things that you crave to do? What is the one thing you want more than anything in the world? That is where you find your passion. Let us say that you desire a lot of money. You will have to find something to sell that people want, or offer a service that people need in order to exchange them for the desired funds. You could dabble in this, or dabble in that, and make a little money here and there that might add up to something eventually. The better way is to pick something good and put all of your passion into it. Using this method you create the purpose-driven life with passion behind the goal. You become an unstoppable force that gets things done. If you ever wanted to know how to move mountains, this is a secret. Most successful people built their success doing one thing, but doing it better than anyone else. How? They were very passionate about reaching their goals of monetary net worth and success. Do your homework and research what sells. Find out what people need, want or desire. Fill those holes and you will get rich. It is that easy. Chapter 2. What really turns you on? In order to actually live a purpose-driven life with passion means you have to go back to the basics and explore the things you love to do. What really turns you on? What would have you so excited to get up in the morning that you could hardly get to sleep the night before? What activities would you like to do that would make you lovesick to be away from? People that succeed in their own business ventures are ones that understand this well. Work is and work. It is something that consumes them and takes on a life of its own. That is what you need to find and bring into your life. Courting your destiny. This is not always an easy task. It is part soul-searching and part creationism. You have to find or make the opportunity that is the perfect complement to your skills, interests and personality. Think of the differences between a life coach and a therapist. Both share a keen interest in people. They both share the desire to see people improve their lives. Yet one helps one at a time and the other can help thousands in a big auditorium. What is your destiny? It is almost as important to realize what your limits are as it is to know what your experience lends to an intended plan. If you have a fear of public speaking, then helping an auditorium full of people is not the best plan for you. Are you ready for commitment? Finding your purpose and cultivating it with passion is going to take a commitment of energy, time and testing. The purpose you are seeking may not be clear from the beginning. As you add passion to your pursuits, the vision will get clearer until it finally comes into sharp focus. It may take trying many different endeavors. After all, there is a whole world out there waiting to be explored. The hardest part is that you still need to make a living. It may mean a lot of extra hours trying to gain success in what you really want to do in life, while still punching in at a time clock. Visualize a positive outcome. Visualization is a powerful tool. Use it wisely. You can just as easily visualize failure in your life as you can success. Leave all fears and self-doubt at the door. You cannot fail if you create or follow a strong purpose that is carried out with passion. It holds a magic all its own. You have to dream of succeeding in life night and day. You may have been told as a child to quit daydreaming. No one should ever quit dreaming. It is the dreamers that have changed the world. Thomas Edison had a vision to create a light bulb and he did it. He also held 1,092 other patents at his death. Dream on. Chapter 3. What is not to love except what you hate? If you find it hard initially to sort through and find that all-important purpose, then maybe you should try narrowing things down another way. In this, the information age, almost anything you could ever want to know is a few clicks away on a computer screen. When finding what you love proves difficult, then weed out what you hate. You don't want to spend more time than necessary creating that purpose-driven life, so narrowing the field down a bit this way can prove useful. Skill set elimination. There are certain careers and life pursuits that can easily be eliminated by matching skill sets. Not everyone can be a brain surgeon, or a liability law attorney. It takes special degrees and training that not everyone can have. You may not qualify to be a rocket scientist, but you might be able to open a dating service for single parents. It is no less noble a dream and can offer help for those needing to meet a quality single person to date. The more you can knock off your list, the closer you get to discovering what you can do with passion. Location, location, location. Have you always dreamed of being in Ireland, Australia, China? Do you want to live and work near a beach, in the mountains, or does the thought of water make you nervous? Visions of snowy avalanches might not make a mountainous region so appealing once you get down to the specifics of the geography of an area. If you discover the right location for you and the perfect setting to live out your dream, successful transition will simply happen. Chapter 4. Is it a calling? Have you been drawn towards an activity or business idea for what seems like forever? You can believe that most people that run a rental company for boats have always loved them. The great thing to remember here is that you will always do better at what comes natural to you. Accountants would be very good at their jobs if they hated counting numbers. When you define a purpose that incorporates what you are naturally good at, the passion for it flows freely. Not only will you be living a purpose-driven life, but you will love every minute of it. The ever-shrinking learning curve. If you discover purpose that is suited for your desire and skills, the ability and competency for the business will already be there. There may be a few things here or there that you need to learn, but a lot of what you need to know will already be in place. That saves time, energy and stress. Incorporating the passion will make the learning you need to do seem enjoyable and fun. It will seem like you were made to do what you purpose in life. Natural abilities. How can you have a purpose-driven life filled with passion and fire if you are doing something that you hate? Living where you are unhappy and in a constant state of turmoil? What are some things that come natural to you? Perhaps rock climbing, river rafting? How incredible would it be for you to create a dynasty out of what you love to do every moment and are good at? There would be natural passion oozing out of every pore of your body. You would attract the masses to simply watch you what you do best. Important causes. Nothing can fuel purpose with passion more than throwing you into an important cause. Maybe you are concerned about the environment or world hunger. Being able to connect with others that share your vision, drive and passion for the cause creates a very powerful dynamic. National and international philanthropy organizations didn't spring up out of nowhere. They were created by visionaries with true passion, and it spread like a wildfire. Calling or compulsion? Have you designed a career or life around what was expected of you by friends, family, or buying into the idea that you can only do what your education and present experience dictates? Then you are living by compulsion. Living by a true calling is freeing. You can easily follow your gut instinct to do what you have the most passion for. You can live wherever you want, earn an income that does much more than barely get you by week to week. A calling opens doors, it does, and confine you the way compulsory living does. Break free of mundane thinking and limiting ideas. It is a proven fact that you can hop on an airplane and travel anywhere you want in the world. The plane glides through the air and breaks barriers of both country boundaries and time zones. This is exactly what a calling does on your life. It can literally take you anywhere you want to go. Chapter 5: The Perfect Life. What is your idea of the perfect life? Tremendous wealth, living in a mansion, being married, single, family? You should really take the time to discover what you feel the perfect life would look like. Your life will be filled with more purpose if you take your ideas to use as a blueprint. It feeds the passion and desire to reach your perfect state of utopia. Get as specific as you dare. Maybe you want to live in the Scottish Highlands and drive a red Porsche and have a little white dog. Does this sound silly? The clearer you can make the picture in your mind, the better the odds are that you will hit the mark. Would you be really upset if it ended up being a little brown dog instead? The biggest and most successful companies in the world all do one thing frequently. They all hold strategy meetings to direct their footsteps in the world of business. Why should you run your life any different? If a process is proven to work, why try and change it? The whole work thing. Do you see yourself working in a high-rise building in a big city? Or is a small home office your idea of heaven? Some dream of early retirement and giving up the whole work thing totally. Once you can see a clear vision of what your employment and income goals are, it is much easier to put your purpose-driven life into action. As I said earlier, get very specific. Do you want to work certain hours, days, or take long extended vacations? Do you see yourself as a self-employed professional, or as the CEO of your own corporation? Both will take some energy investment, but there is a huge difference in business structure. Giving your life purpose that you can easily put passion behind means you have to believe in your plan. It has to make sense to your mind as well as your heart. You can possibly desire or feel passion for a life plan that does and captivate you. Relationships. Cultivating close friendships and finding someone special is a guaranteed way to motivate you to creating the perfect purpose-driven life. It takes having the time available to spend with those that are important to you. Working a 12-hour factory job 6 days a week is not going to work. It is a commendable way to make a living, but if you desire a purpose-driven life full of passion for both what you do and those you surround yourself with, you will have to make some subtle changes. It is possible to have it all. Lifestyle. What lifestyle would make you feel complete? World traveling all seasons and for everyone. Is your idea of a perfect life living on an island with few people, residing on a ranch with horses? What are the activities you enjoy or want to try? Skydiving, scuba diving, wild hog hunting? The more you can incorporate the things you like to do and places you like to be, the more your life will have purpose and meaning. It really has less to do with pleasure and more to do with life satisfaction. Chapter 6: Clues and Cues. It is all well and good to think in generalized terms of what constitutes passion in life, but how do you really dig in and find out specifically what your driving passions are? You will never be completely satisfied in life unless you can find the things you are passionate about to do as a career, or simply as a hobby, a recreational pursuit. You do not have to specifically make an income from the things you are passionate about doing, seeing and experiencing. If you can find a way to make an income from the things you're most passionate about, is a plus. But as long as you can include them in your life, it will recharge your batteries and give you a new lease on life. Think back to when you were a child. Were there any particular activities that you really enjoyed doing? Were there any hobbies or interests that people seem to think you were gifted at? There are times that we take hobbies and interests and bury them over time and forget that we even knew how to do them. Perhaps you were good at drawing or painting, singing, dancing and acting in plays. It can be a wonderful experience reconnecting with old passions and discover you are just as good and fond of it as you were back then. What are your talents? Are you able to play musical instruments? Are you a great singer? Do you enjoy teaching people things? You need to brainstorm and create a list all of the talents that you feel you have. Be sure to include any talents that other people say that you have. Why? You need to analyze whether you have talents that you may not have recognized on your own. Talk with close friends and family members and get their opinions. Sometimes it helps to have an outside point of view. Pay close attention to your reaction in certain situations. Have you met very happy, free-spirited people that seem to be pursuing their passion fully and felt a bit insecure or jealous? This can sometimes clue you in on the fact that they are doing something you might like to do, but for some reason you are limiting yourself. If you believe that a happy and carefree lifestyle is simply not in the cards for you, then you are limiting your potential with your own subconscious thoughts. Jealousy, as an emotion, is pretty useless. You would do better to take that energy and pour it into creating the passion-driven life that you envy. No one is going to hand it to you. It means making the decisions, taking the actions and ownership to make it happen. What are the things you like to do that you find yourself completely immersed in? Are there activities that you love so much that you completely lose track of time? Maybe you like to take old appliances that are having problems and fix them. Perhaps you like to make quilts. If you get so involved in the activity that hours pass by unnoticed, then it is something you are passionate about. You need to become adventurous as well and try some new activities that you never have before. There are, no doubt, many untapped skills, talents and passions that you are not even aware of yet. The important thing to remember through the process is to have fun. Discovering your passion or passions shouldn't be a lot of work. Simply gathering a few deductive clues and getting out there to try different activities is a great way to get exposed to new things and meet new people. You may have to try several things before you find the one or two that you really enjoy. It is well worth the time and effort that you put into the search. Chapter 7. The journey to purpose. There are some people that seem to begin their lives with a purpose that propels them forward at lightning speed. There are others that it takes some time experimentation to settle on what they view their purpose in life to be. You should never get too frustrated and feel like you were the only person in the world that was not given a roadmap. The fact is, life is a journey that is meant to be enjoyed. Having a purpose in life is what gives it personal value to you. None of us are born to simply wake up in the morning, do a couple of boring tasks through the day and then go right back to sleep. There needs to be very purposeful things that we do in order to reach levels of satisfaction and happiness in life. There are some that find purpose in raising a family, growing crops to help feed the world, or teach young children how to read. The one thing that all purposes across the globe have in common is a thing called contribution. If we can contribute our time, finances, care and other resources for the good of others, we suddenly find purpose in our journey. This is why you should not get overly concerned if it is taking you more time to find your purpose than others around you. Everyone is an individual and is going to have a different purpose. If you are struggling to find yours, then spread yourself out a bit more and get some more varied experience at different things. No matter what you find your passions to be, without contribution you will never enjoy true purpose in your life. Humans are very unique in that most have at least some level of desire to think outside of themselves and be truly concerned with the world around them. This is why you see such huge outpourings of donations and compassion after natural disasters. Humans have the ability to put themselves in the shoes of others and contribute in viable and completely awesome ways. It is also why you see so many worldwide organizations that are battling disease, hunger and even political oppression. This doesn't mean that you have to run out and join an organization, but he gives you a generalized overview of how people see the world as a whole. Contribution can lead to purpose, and purpose becomes a contribution in and of itself. This is mean that if you open the business that sells used cars, that you have blown it. Are you simply taking a path of creating wealth rather than purpose? It doesn't matter what type of business you would open. If you approach your business plan with the idea of creating massive value for your customers or clients at an affordable price, then that becomes a purpose. If you strive to offer the highest quality used cars at an affordable price for families that need them, it is an incredibly wonderful purpose to have. You could always join the Peace Corps and spend time in third world countries doing all types of humanitarian efforts to find purpose. But you could also simply volunteer to be a Boy Scout or Girl Scout troop leader and contribute your time, experience and mentorship in your local community. The reason so many people struggle in trying to find purpose is because they forget the fact that humans have a driving need to contribute in some way to the whole. It is also possible that you already have purpose and simply failed to recognize it. How many times have you heard a housewife say just a housewife? They say it as if it is a bad thing and that they do nothing that is important to the world as far as contribution. If they are helping manage and run a household, raising children and the other hundreds of things they do during the day, they are providing real value. They are contributing any huge way by helping rear the next generation of business owners, teachers, politicians, doctors, lawyers and any other occupation you can think of. It is simply a matter of how you frame importance to what you do. Before you start lamenting and getting overly concerned that you're struggling and have found it you feel's purpose, sit down and create a list of all of the activities that you participate in on a regular basis, your current employment, and they create secondary list of activities you would like to be involved in, or a career that you feel would provide you with more personal satisfaction. You have ultimate control over the creation and recognition of purpose in your life. If you do not feel as if you contribute enough, then simply add some activities. If you do not feel that your occupation provides you with the purpose-driven pride that you desire, then you may have to take steps to get the job or start a career that you feel would provide you with this. The important thing through it all is to remember that many times it simply comes down to how you frame the importance of what you do and how you contribute. Chapter 8. Passion is everything. Living a life with purpose and no passion is like looking at a black and white photograph. It might be slightly artsy, but there is no real beauty to it. Passion is the paint that we decorate the canvas of life with. It should color everything and everyone we touch. You should be able to leave people saying, "Oh," as you leave the room. True passion has power and can bridge any difficulty you have in getting the purpose rolling strong. This is an important point. There is no reason to feel you have to have everything perfect. Just do everything you do with passion. Passion and ideals. When you have an idea, put all of the passion you can behind it. It will energize you and keep the vision clear. Have faith in your increasing ability to pull together an idea that will propel you to the right path of the purpose-driven life. Only you know what the perfect combination of ideals, motivations and opportunity will be right for you. I firmly believe that everyone has an instinct that provides for an hector moment. The rush of excitement from knowing you are on the right track for your life is better than the high from any drug. Passion and opportunity. There are times that opportunity will show itself. You have to stay ready. Whether it is the chance to move to your desired location, enjoy increased networking, involve yourself in a great business venture, or any number of things. Always stay forward-thinking and on the hunt for the next golden opportunity. If there does and seem to be any, then what is stopping you from bringing your passion into play and making your own? Start your own business, make friends, find your soulmate or buy your dream car. Do it with passion. Passion for people. People respond to excitement and passion. If they feel you can be that NTO, a plan or strategy, then maybe it is worth a second look. The best way to bring people into your passion and purpose is to believe in it yourself and push all of your energy into it. This method builds on itself. It is like a snowball rolling downhill. It just gets bigger and bigger, knocking down any obstacles in its path. The purpose-driven life can only be enjoyed when it includes human contact. You will get more fulfillment out of life when you include interesting and like-minded people to your circle of friends and business partners. Passion and the purpose giving your life depth and meaning is not as difficult as you might think. Following the steps and strategies in this book will help you learn how to narrow the world of choices down to a few that are perfect for you. The great thing is if one does and work, then move on to the next one. No growth experience is ever a waste of time. Creating your perfect purpose-driven life becomes an addictive task that is only quenched once you begin to close in on some great ideas. You can start doing this today. What are you waiting for? Conclusion. Thank you again for downloading this book. I hope this book was able to help you to live a purpose-filled life powered by passion. The next step is to decide what your purpose and passion should focus on. Finally, if you enjoyed this book, Please take the time to share your thoughts and post a review on Amazon. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you and good luck. Click here to leave a review on Amazon.com. Preview of book, Improving Memory Now, How to Remember Everything and Master Memory Improvement Today. Chapter 1, Mysteries of the Mind. There is one thing that all experts that study the brain will agree on. Many of the ways in which it works is clouded in mystery. How we think, learn, interact and remember things can be hypothesized about, but there is no way to actually draw an ironclad picture of the processes. A very famous patient, referred to by his initials HM many times, suffered a fall off of a bicycle at the age of 7. This presumably began a lifetime of seizures and epileptic symptoms that was unrelenting. In 1953 his case was referred to Dr. William Beecher Scoville at Hartford Hospital in Connecticut. This neurosurgeon felt that the epilepsy was centered in the temporal lobes, so he opted to operate and did a bilateral resection of that area, including the hippocampus region. It did alleviate the seizures to some extent, but what they also learned is that he ended up with a retrograde amnesia. Everything for up to 2 years prior to surgery was forgotten. Some events up to 11 years past were forgotten. The amazing thing is he was capable of recalling other memories just fine. He even had the ability to learn new motor skills, such as holding a paintbrush and painting a picture, though he would not remember learning them. His was an interesting case that was studied heavily until his death in 2008. His brain is still studied post-mortem in an attempt to understand what the dynamics were in relation to the actual structure of the brain. What importance does any of this have to improving memory? Well, it shows that even in the worst-case scenario situations of structural damage to the brain, it finds ways around in an attempt to improve on, learn and remember life events. You may feel that you have the worst memory of any living creature, but this book will bring every available tactic known to help you improve both your memory recall and the ability to store the information you need for easy access. The brain is often likened to a computer, but it is actually much better than any man-made electronic. It has the ability to make neurological pathways where there were none before. It is an ever-changing and malleable organ that still astounds scientists daily. How does memory recall work? How do you create a memory? Once it is created, how does a person bring it to recollection? Many people think that they carry out a task, or look at a picture, hear a name and can simply file it away for safekeeping. It is true that the mind will file memories away, but the actual process of creating something into a memory is a bit more complicated than it might appear. When you learn to do something, partake in an activity, study for a test, practice a speech, or one of a million things we can do, the brain does and automatically send it to the permanent memory bank. It is mostly in theory, since there is no real way to look at the information as it transfers through the brain. But dreams seem to be an active part of taking short-term memory clips and turning them into hard long-term memory files. Both visual and cognitive items replay through the dreaming mind and become a solidified memory that can be recalled by sensory ties. Experiences we enjoy, such as having sex, or eating a double scoop of strawberry ice cream, can be instantly recalled by the mere scent of a familiar perfume, or the picture of a bowl of a frozen treat. Advertisers learned this long ago and incorporate various recall methods in advertising, resulting in billions in sales every year for all types of products. Sneaky? Not really. It's simply the way the human mind is hardwired to work. No matter how mysterious the processes for the human mind seem, repetition seems to be the key to building memory. Ever-evolving science of the mind. Science has come a long way since the days of belief that the Earth was flat. Men on the moon in 1969 were able to send pictures back that showed proof positive that the Earth was, in fact, round. The same slow evolution of knowledge happened in the science involving the brain. It was an accepted fact that the brain was an organ that could not and would not repair itself. If damaged, that was it. There was no thought given to the possibility that the brain could learn to do tasks again, but use different neural pathways to give and retrieve messages. There were scientists that had their doubts about this written-in-stone theory. It didn't seem to explain why when some patients underwent serious brain trauma, they learned to walk, talk and do simple tasks again. There could only be one of two answers. Either they weren't as seriously injured in the brain as thought, or there was some type of rerouting or repair happening. Studies on the brain after some of the patients died showed that they did suffer severe trauma, but that the brain had somehow managed to adapt was evident in their relearning basic tasks. The good news with the changing insight into the mind is that even if you suffer memory issues due to not learning the best ways for you to be able to recall easily, The brain is pliable and receptive enough to be retrained. You can easily master new ways to remember and recall anything you wish. Click here to download this book on Amazon. If the link above does and work, you can type in this link manually. http://amzn.to/osmgw to preview a book, The Ultimate Alcoholism Cure, Help Before It All Goes Down the Drain. Chapter 1, The Making of an Alcoholic. Developing an addiction to alcohol does and happen overnight. It is a habit that starts out often as mild social drinking and can easily become a full-blown case of alcoholism that will destroy your life if left unchecked. Not to mention that you run the real risk of suffering alcohol poisoning. There is only so much alcohol the body can break down and get rid of in any given hour of the day. The sad part is that you won't even realize you have ingested too much until it is too late. If you are alone at the time, you could very well be dead within a few hours. Why is this? Alcohol is a depressant to the system. This means it slows the heart rate and breathing to the point that you simply pass away without any knowledge, battle or concern. And if that isn't scary enough, there is also the fun possibility of drowning in your own vomit. There is no argument that alcoholism is deadly and should be treated seriously on all levels. There is a lot of debate as to why some people become alcoholics and others do not. Genetic predisposition to addiction is a large factor. If you had aunts, uncles, parents or grandparents that struggled with alcohol, then you are more likely to struggle with it if exposed on a regular basis. The body builds a tolerance and gradually requires more and more to maintain stability. Too little and you get the hicks or tremors from the body needing addicts. If you have gotten to this stage, then you are in serious stages of alcoholism and need treatment before everything goes down the drain. It may seem like a scary step to admit you have a serious problem and need help to get better. It is the best thing you will ever do for your mental, emotional and physical health. You might be able to save everything from imploding under the weight of a very oppressive illness. The thing to remember is that anything worth doing takes commitment and focus. This is definitely worth doing. Envision saving your marriage, relationships with family and friends, job and health. Relax and think about how important all of these things are to you as you read the ways you can go about saving your life. Alcoholism and alcohol abuse. There is a big distinction between alcoholism and alcohol abuse. Nearly anyone that has consumed alcohol in their lifetime has abused alcohol at least once. Getting drunk is really all that alcohol abuse is. The occasional social drink is not even an issue. When you drink to excess with or without intention, it is abusing alcohol. This isn't necessarily the end of the world, but it is a step towards full-blown alcoholism. It is literally like playing with fire. It may fizzle and the urge to party to oblivion may fade over the years, or you may end up losing everything, even your life. Is that a risk you are willing to take? Responsible use of alcohol is a much-needed skill that does not always work for everyone. There are some people that simply have to stay away from alcohol as if it is poison. One drink leads to 10 without so much as a second thought. The only way to honestly win the battle in this case is to completely stay away from alcohol. There is no such thing as being able to shyly drink after dealing with an alcoholism problem. You have to mentally and emotionally prepare for a complete change in lifestyles, habits and maybe even the people you associate with. Social acceptance. What makes the determination of alcohol abuse problems and alcoholism even more difficult is the prevalent use and social acceptance of over-imbibing activity. There are so many places that you can purchase and consume alcohol that it is not unusual to see people that have overindulged. Society has developed an attitude that it is alright to drink to excess for certain occasions, such as sporting events and victories, weddings, birthdays, bachelor and bachelorette parties and so on. The only time you really hear any negative comments about public intoxication is when it is referenced to bums on the street that are panhandling for change to buy more. That is usually a statement more against begging for money than being completely out of their minds on alcohol. There is proof to this in the fact that New Year Eve is one night a year that taxi rides are free for all that are intoxicated so that you won't get in your car and drive. Instead of cautioning people on the dangers of overindulgence, society has placated and in many ways enabled the development of alcoholism to the levels it is today. Does that seem overgeneralized? Not really. Think of the pull-through liquor stores, drinking establishments on nearly every corner and even hard liquor sales in some markets. It is easy to obtain, easy to consume and easy to get addicted. The phase of availability extends to the youth. Nearly any social gathering of teenagers includes alcohol consumption by at least some members. Sure, some of it is purchased with fake identification cards, but many is bought and paid for by legal age friends and even parents. There is no way that a teen can be expected to understand or appreciate the dangers and addictive power that alcohol can have. Many adult alcoholics of today begin binge drinking in their teen years at parties, games and get-togethers. Click here to download this book on Amazon. If the link above does and work, you can type in this link manually, http://amzn.to/1gb2nvr.